Hey, it's Nate Flock with Pulse PEMF, and with me today, I have the joy and privilege of getting to talk with Kathy Schaefer, who is one of our beloved ISRs, who's out on the streets making it happen, spreading the good news about PEMF and what it's doing to enhance lives, empower wellness, and transform even animals as well. So, Kathy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
You as well. So I have to start with first things first. We want to know, what was your origin story with Pulse? There's so many different ways people have been connected, whether through doctors or professionals or an ad. So I would love to hear how you got connected with Pulse and when that was.
I have been a certified massage therapist for humans since 1998. And in the end of 2016, I was looking for some therapy option. I was training barrel racing fraternity horses professionally and wanted something to enhance their performance or, keep them going as well as I could for the owners. So I started looking around and PMF came up and I had no idea what it was. And so started researching it and I researched probably 3, 4 months. I went through all the different horse therapies you could do with the TheraPlate, laser, all that, what it did, how deep in the body it went, price point, and it all came back to the PMF. And so I prayed about it and got a hold of Pulse PMF and purchased a system beginning of 2017 and haven't looked back.
I love it. So what made you choose Pulse over others in your research?
Um, in my research, I found, MagnaWave was the biggest competitor, and their training certification was online open book, and I didn't feel like that made me a professional. I liked Pulse's, what they had to offer for the training and certification, and it made me feel like I knew something. Also, their support and I liked the human option. Also, even though I was just doing horses, I didn't see human accessories in any other PMF devices that I really liked, and so I just like I said, I did a lot of praying and I decided that, with Pulse and, the feedback I got and stuff from them, that is the way I want to go.
That's so good. I totally agree with you on just doing the research. You see Pulse's head and shoulders above the rest, especially when it comes to accessories. So I would love to hear, what is your favorite accessory? Do you lean towards one whenever you do a demo? Do you like, this is the accessory I always use because I know how to use it well?
I love the large square pad. Um, it, especially like in the taco position, part of it you're sitting on, part of it's going up your back. I've had a lot of great success stories with people with hip, low back problems, sciatic issues, um, and that I have used that pad myself for different horse wrecks I've had. So
Ooh.
it's a full body. You can use it on your full body, and I like the intensity it has, and so it's my go-to.
So is that something that you use every day?
Pretty much.
Tell us about
I
your pulsing
incorporate
schedule.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us about your pulsing schedule.
I do. We live pretty remotely, so I do a lot of rodeo competition horses, ranch horses. I also have a Pulse PMF room in town. We live here out at the ranch, so people meet me in town, and I have all the human accessories there, the contour bed and the chair pad and everything. So I am pretty flexible in my schedule. Like everybody else lives remotely here, so I usually schedule, most of my sessions 2 or 3 days a week. That works for everybody. And then I do drive to locations to pulse animals and horses for people.
Wow. So how much time do you get to spend on yourself? It sounds like you're staying pretty busy.
I try to pulse at least a couple hours a week. It just
Mhm.
depends. Like right now is rodeo season, so I've been really busy traveling around and stuff. And I do also do big events like team roping events, the Wrangler National Finals, and the World Series national finals and stuff like that. So I do travel around and do big event booths and give demos and stuff and pulse horses for people at those.
That's so cool that you're straddling both worlds, that you're able to communicate on the human side of things, but then you also are able to do that with the animal side. When you mentioned horse accidents, have you used Pulse for recovery in any of those areas? Have you seen like a major breakthrough?
Yeah.
Is there any story you could
Yes.
share with that?
um, my husband and I have saved lots of money in doctor bills and vet bills for our horses. My worst wreck was 3 years ago. A horse drugged me, and
Wow.
um, I had road rash all over my face, my upper body. He had stepped on me from my shoulder down through my leg, and
Oh,
a big old knot on my knee. And yep, that little square pad. I was friends with it for 2 days on the couch. I pulsed for 2 days straight and drank lots of water, and that's the only reason I went back to riding. And we were actually flying out to Florida for a vacation right after that happened. So yeah, I pulsed as much as I could in 2 days, and it
whoa.
only reason I got to go on that trip. So
Whoa.
yeah, it's healed me up from that's my worst horse wreck, but it's healed me up from quite a few horse wrecks.
Man, that could have turned out so much worse. I'm so glad you're
Yes,
okay, and I'm glad you had Pulse in your house to adapt to that
yes.
quickly. What about others? It could be an animal story or a human story on where you've seen some
Um,
pretty miraculous results.
I just last year, a veterinarian from South Dakota called me, and it was his stepdaughter's college barrel horse. She was going to Casper College in Casper, Wyoming, and she wanted to feed him one morning, and he was so lame they could hardly get him into the horse trailer. Don't know how he hurt himself, but Dr. Stadeheim called me to go down there, and I started pulsing him. And the day he walked in the barn, um, couldn't put any pressure on his right front leg, like
Hmm.
just tiptoe into the barn. And so he had paralyzed his radial plexus nerve. That's a nerve that runs from his jaw down through his neck into that shoulder. And they don't know how he did it, but two vets told her to put him down. He'd never be weight bearing. And so I had pulsed Dr. Lynn Stadeheim before himself, and he knew how good the PMF was. So he said, I want you to come try it out on this horse. So after 3 sessions, Chantel sent me a picture. The horse was standing with all his weight, on the front end. The next
Yes.
the next morning, she sent me a video. He was running around his pasture, bucking and playing, and not lame at all.
From how many days to that
In
point?
three 1 hour sessions.
3 1-hour sessions, and he went from "you should put this horse down" to he's
Yes,
galloping in his field.
yes. And so I did another three. And after that sixth session, she sent me a video, and she was at a college barrel race, and he ran 5/10 off the fast time. Yeah.
Wow. Did she ever go back to those vets and say, "Hey, just
Yeah.
thought I'd open your mind to a whole new world here"?
I told her she needs to, especially get her your money back after.
Right.
Yeah.
Good thing she got a third opinion.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was crazy how fast it. And I pulsed him full body, then I would pulse from that shoulder, from the main wither shoulder down through that area, pulse from his pole down through his neck, and just kept doing that every session. And yeah, so
Wow.
he's my biggest miraculous story to
What did
be.
the owner say to you? I mean, was she just over the
They
moon?
Yeah, yeah. And she started, they actually swim horses too, so she started swimming him, and then started riding him probably 2 weeks after that initial third session when he was running around playing. And that's how she got. And it was probably when she ran in that college barrel race. It had probably been 2.5 months time of since the pulsing and the swimming and her riding him.
Oh, hey, are you enjoying this video? Well then be sure to subscribe to our channel for the latest information on Pulse PEMF and tips on how to live an optimized life. And leave a comment below. Our team reads and responds to each one. Also, take a couple seconds and click that like button. It helps this channel get get good news to more people. Now, back to the video, and I'm going to get back to my self-care.
Let's go back to that subject of how you're able to straddle both worlds with the human and the animal. How do you describe Pulse to new people, whether it's to human and animal? Do you describe it differently when you're communicating to someone who's wants to pulse their animal, as opposed to someone who just wants themselves to receive a pulsing session?
I tell them the same information, but then add my own stories, with successes I've had on the human and animal world. But I always tell them that Pulse PMF is the world's leading and most advanced technology that has more pulses per second on the cell than any other PMF device. And that is creating, your overall health in a faster period of time that you gain that. And so I let them know about the excellent accessories we have, human and equine side. And with the, I always talk about the pro because I love that system, of what it can do. And then, like I say, I'll add my own stories and ask them, what are they looking to specifically post for, so I can give them direction on what I would suggest.
It's so good when you get to experience that kind of success. That just drives you, right? So, what do you have in the works coming up? Anything notable that you're working on?
I actually sold a system to a physical therapy doctor in Anchorage, Alaska, and he wants me to come up there and do hands-on training for his staff. So I am flying in August up there to do that, and never been to Alaska, so that's
Wow, that's exciting, and that's going to be something that, I mean, you get to enjoy the benefits of being in Alaska at the end of summer too. I mean,
yes.
if you're going to go any time of year, August is probably a good time of year to go there. So, anything notable as you've picked up along the way, because you've been with us for years now, and I'm sure with all of the demos that you've hosted, just the tricks of little principles of the how to angle the accessory, or when you want to target a certain area, are there any notable tips and information that you could share with anyone who would be watching this about how you find success with PEMF,
Um,
specifically about Pulse?
One thing I've done since said we live remotely, I have pulsing parties. So get friends, neighbors together at one location. The hostess gets a free half-hour session, and people can come and pulse for a half hour or an hour, but they can sit there and pulse and share their experience of their pulsing while they're doing it. Um, and so for people that had never done it, I'll do demos, but people that, have pulsed before, they'll tell the results they've gotten. And, it's kind of fun doing that. So I incorporated that into my little system of pulsing around here. And I also travel to other places to do pulsing parties for people. Um, and, just it's fun because people get to experience and, you know, tell each other how they're, what they're feeling. And so I do that. And I usually take all the accessories except for the contour bed when I go to those. So they can try different accessories and see what results they get.
That is absolutely brilliant. That sounds so much fun. How long does a pulsing party normally last, and how many people do you
Um,
put in there?
Normally, we usually have 5 to 10 in a day. Um, it just, like I say, people are usually doing hour sessions, but some can only do half hour. But, so we just have people revolving through the door throughout the day. But usually I have two systems going. So, people can pulse at the same time and, just get experience together.
That is absolutely brilliant. I need to try that. And just invite all my friends and family over and sign
Yeah.
up. That's that sounds like a lot of fun too. There's something to be said about experiencing something new together, where it does create this.
Yes.
Um,
The person's not like, I don't know what this is. I'm by myself.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when you have someone as the host. There's your indoor for that trust factor. So they're more willing to like really enjoy the moment. Any other principles just with your pulsing in particular about using certain accessories or I think back to how Paul Webb would repeatedly tell me that you have to practice on yourself often if you want to be successful in pulsing others. So principles kind of like that. Is there anything else that you've picked up along the way that you could share?
Um, I've found out that like pulsing the horses, especially that, you know, in the performance world that we live in here, that um, the full body, you know, a lot of other PMF places want to do just spot treatments. The full body is essentially what you need to do because when they're working so hard like they do for us, that you know you need to pulse from pole to tail head and their legs, you know, getting everything work right. And so I incorporate that on any animals I pulse. I always do a full body first, then if there's an injury or something, you know, pulse that site. But and I always recommend at least 3 sessions if you know something's been going on for a while or an injury. But then on the human side, the contour bed, uh, everybody needs to pulse on that. It just
Totally.
it. I have so many people that are like, "Am I the only one that falls asleep and snores?" I'm like, no.
It's that good. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah,
Every night, I know my body got to a point where now it craves the Contour Total Body Bed. By 9 p.m., my body's like, all right, let's go. It's time for my
right.
pulsing session.
That's the
Uh,
only bad thing about living here at the ranch. My contour bed is in town at my pulse room. I need one here at the ranch.
yes, time
Yeah,
to do an upgrade. Well,
yeah.
Kathy, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate all the work that you're doing for Pulse and spreading the good news and getting those miraculous stories. We can't wait to hear more. How can people find out more about you or connect with you? Maybe they hear about the pulsing party or anything else you've said and they want to reach out to you.
They can contact me on my email, kschaefer@pulsepmf.com, or my cell number, 307-680-6219. And be happy to talk to anyone.
And I believe you're also on LinkedIn
LinkedIn, yep, and Facebook,
and
yep,
Facebook. Okay.
yep. And my Facebook page is The Bar Fitness and Pulse PMF.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much, Kathy. It was a joy to talk to you.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. Make sure that you keep on pulsing, empower your wellness, and transform your life and your animals as well. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching this video by Pulse PEMF. For more information about us or to schedule a personalized demo with our technology, click the link in the description below. Also be sure to follow us on social media, especially YouTube, for inspiring stories, cutting-edge wellness tips, and exciting industry updates that will enhance your life.